Well, hey Jeff, good to see you. Good to see you're feeling a little bit better. Robert, Darren, good to see you guys. I might join Zoom back here in just a minute. I'm kind of waiting to see something. Actually, I want to figure out why my camera's not working in Zoom. And Lin Ching Yu. Kind of hope you've had a name change because I don't recognize it, but you're a moderator, so welcome again. Welcome back. You might bring me up to speed on um, a farm of used PCs. Yeah, there you go. Now, let me jump back over here to OBS and see if I can figure this camera nonsense out. I'm going to go in and say it's properties and activate it and hit OK. There we go. All right. And see what the lag looks like. And bring this up just a little bit maybe. Okay, so can I get an audio and a video? Yeah, Jeff, the link is good. You should be able to use that to go into the Zoom if you'd like. Can someone give me an audio and video on the YouTube stream? Tony Wallow, good afternoon. Thank you. And he answers my question. And Tony sent me a reply on one of the things I uploaded this morning. That was just a quick upload. I appreciate you watching it. You didn't miss anything. I mean, it was only a minute long. Thank you for letting me know audio and video is good. So this kind of goes along with what we were talking about in the Zoom last night after I stopped streaming. I'm kind of looking for a name to show up in the chat. And because someone reached out to me and wants some help on OBS, and I said I'd be more than glad to help. In fact, I'll just go do a live stream and go from there. So that's why we're here. Now let me see something here. I wonder if I click on this. Oh yeah, it automatically takes me there.
So, no, you can't come in. Go away.
Okay, I've been told to go away. I'm going away. I went away. I'm no longer wanted in the Zoom. Oh, what am I gonna do? Blackwatch just told me to go away. He's in Zoom. He's probably not watching on here yet. So we'll give him a minute to put two and two together or whatever. So kind of looking forward to this OBS thing for a couple different reasons. One, someone actually reached out to me and wants help. And two, I need to figure out some of my hotkeys. So it's a win-win situation for sure on that. I really do look forward to that. I'm going to go over here a minute. I hope everyone's having a decent day. My day has been exactly like I wanted it to be. I got nothing accomplished. That's exactly what I wanted my day to be like. I'm pretty happy about that, actually. Okay, just as I kind of suspected. Okay, I can live with that. Go back to the live stream. Back over here, hotkey that to that. See how that's not too bad of a lag this morning, so I'm going to go ahead and, like it or not, I'm joining. I have not. Honestly, this was the first time that someone reached out and wanted help. Okay, the camera's running in another application, so I'm going to go over here, right click, properties, get rid of the camera. Okay, camera's gone. Minimize. I should be able to bring the camera up now. And there it is. Ha ha ha, I'm back. Yes, to answer your question, sure, I would more than, I would help someone on a live stream if they're currently, if they're okay with that, or I can do someone wants to, Robert, you're the host, but apparently I can go ahead, maybe we're co-hosting. I'm going to see if this works.
Yeah, go ahead and do it.
I clicked admit. We'll see. It let him in. That's weird. Because you guys can see on the stream it says RM's currently the host. I can reclaim the host and without may disrupt the room. Oh,
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
going to clearly do it if it's disrupting.
Yeah.
No, I'm
I
kidding.
was looking to see if I could give it back to you.
Yeah, you can somehow. Hey, Alex. Can you hear us, Alex? I'm guessing
Looked like he just wheeled away.
I know. I see that too. I won't go down that joke, but um, so I've got nothing done. Do what, Robert?
I was just asking about Jeff. I was hoping he's feeling better.
He said he does feel a little better. It's good to see him in the chat room. Good to see Tony Wallow in the chat room. And
Chat room to what? Have you done something since last night?
Huh?
What chat room are you talking about?
YouTube is on a live stream right now.
Are we on there?
We are on that.
What are you doing?
We are live.
We are live and unscripted and unrehearsed.
I could have got you 48 strikes in the next 5 minutes and not known it.
Oh, no, you wouldn't have.
No, I mean, yeah, you didn't know what I was doing here.
Wonder how long it'll take for that to sink in. He'll come back with, bloody hell! Or worse. I can't unmute him. That's the only thing I don't like about Zoom is when you do mute someone, they have to unmute themselves. I wish that would go away because it's not really fair if they don't catch that they're muted.
There is so many settings though. Have you went through all the settings and looked at all that crap they got?
No, Doug and I have got a session, a thing set up to where we're going to go through that because you're right. There are millions of settings.
It's unreal.
Yeah, when I get done with it, I'm going to be a college graduate, you know?
I turned on one other day that it said if he was playing videos over Zoom, it would be better quality.
Huh. Yeah.
This was after the video you showed.
Yeah.
Who was it? Was it the Beatles?
John is in the chat room. Hey, John, good to see you. I don't remember, Robert, honestly. Yes, Jeff, we are Zooming. The link should be good. The link that I sent the other night should be good. That link should remain good until someone abuses it, and then we will change it and go from there again. Good to see John, too. He put a comment that wouldn't go through because we figured out he's not a moderator. You know what? I'm going to solve that problem right now. John, add moderator. All right, John, if you leave a comment with the link, hopefully it'll go through now. I just made you a moderator. So, Tony Wallow getting on the humor train. Bloody hell. And Jeff's entering the room. So, Alex, you doing all right?
Yes.
Kind of wondering, I said, hey, Alex, good to see you. And you just kind of zoomed out of the
Well,
picture.
it's because I forget to change my input on my TV.
Oh.
Because my speakers from my computer are run through my TV.
Okay.
So
there he is, Mr. Ryman, fresh from Las Vegas.
That's a change when I get. Usually, when I go in, it would have a thing that says to join with Zoom, and it doesn't have that now. And I got to go down and click the button on the lower left to get video going. Not sure why that is.
I'm not either.
But I'm here.
That's probably one of the 999,000 settings we need to learn, and that video's coming out shortly. So that will be one of my tech videos. Everybody doing all right today?
Yeah.
Good. Are you watching the stream, Alex, on the YouTube?
yes, I am.
You were asked a question, so I'll let you handle that. Blackwatch, I was just making a point. I want you to come back. Seriously, I can't unmute you. John is a good guy.
Oh.
Oh boy, here we go.
I was asked a question in the YouTube chat. I
Yeah,
don't see it.
it said, "What TV you run, Alex?"
Oh, it's an old, really old, 1280 by 720 Emerson. Not even a smart TV or anything.
It works though, right? Serves its purpose.
It works. All I
Cool.
need it for is 3 HDMI inputs and an audio output for my sound bar. That's
Right.
it.
Thank you, John. John, I appreciate it. Yeah, we have a pretty good group of people here on this channel. I really enjoy talking to them every day. And the joke is what, guys?
If it ends in a Y, you'll be streaming.
That is correct. Did anybody got the tally going? How many straight days we've been zooming and streaming,
Streaming or screaming?
or both? Yes.
It's a shame you can't log with as many features as Zoom has. It's a shame you can't log into your Zoom account, and it will keep a graph of how many days you've been zooming, like with the website.
Oh, I bet it does. We just haven't figured it out.
So now this is Robert's channel officially, right?
Officially, it is Robert's channel.
I mean Robert's Zoom.
yes,
Zoom, not
yeah.
channel.
Officially, it is Robert Zoom. He's been gracious enough to allow me to use it, so we don't have to do the 40-minute
So
thing.
who's the moderator in here when you're both logged in? Just out of curiosity.
That'd be me.
Right, I was gonna say right now it's you.
Now, if I leave and come back, it would be Robert or whoever I designate the host to be.
Okay.
Um,
So, but he's let you have enough information that you can start the sessions, right?
oh, sure. Yeah.
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 Okay.
And again, I know I've said it a million times. I am so thankful and grateful to Robert for this. A mere thank you is not enough in my eyes.
Well,
Yeah, Robert's one of the good guys.
Great guy. We
Ian,
all, every one of you guys.
What was you meaning? What was you meaning when y'all was talking about you can't unmute people because if you mute.
There it is.
There it is. Yeah. I mean, nope. I am not. Nope. Not going to testify. Overruled. I have the gavel ready for everything. Everybody doing all right? Jeff, it's really good to see you. You do look like you're feeling better.
Well, I had a little fever last night. Not much, just about half a degree, but I hadn't got a lot of sleep the previous night, so I needed to zonk out for a while.
Yeah. So, Alex, did you?
I'm slowly getting better. I got a little nose drip that makes me cough once in a while, but
Sure.
I think I'm gaining on it.
All right. So, Alex, do you see my point about if I mute you, you have to unmute yourself?
Right, but when I muted y'all, when I muted all of y'all the other night because you gave me host,
Right.
I was able to unmute everybody.
Because you're the host. If I mute everybody, I'm not going to do that because I don't understand how to do it. But if I come in here and let's just say I'm going to mute, I'll pick on you again. Then I cannot click on anything to unmute you, unless I can go right here. I can ask to unmute, stop the video, chat, pin, spotlight for everyone, make host, make co-host. Ooh, I like that. Now, one thing I will.
So apparently, if you mute everybody, you can unmute everybody, but you can't unmute an individual person.
Right. Now, I do
It's
see
kinda
here,
weird.
if I remove, now, watch the YouTube stream. If I click remove, it says remove Alex Cheek. Once removed, Alex Cheek will not be able to rejoin the meeting.
Does that mean just this meeting or recurring meetings? Because it's the same ID for multiple meetings.
That's a good question.
I don't know, because since it's under the same credentials,
number?
right, I would think it might be moving forward, you would not be able to join this meeting. Maybe we can play around with that on another time and see. We can set it up.
Maybe we can play around with that if you just uncheck your use personal meeting ID, so it'll auto generate an ID NID number, and then we can play around with it that way.
Yeah, but that defeats the purpose of why I did it, because we all know this link is good from now until whenever, and if I go the other route, then I've got to send out the emails, and I tend to leave people out, and some people get upset about that. So,
But what I mean is, just with me, if we do a one-on-one, and you send out an auto generated one-time link, we'll be able to see if I can rejoin that way without having to read.
so let me make sure I follow what you're saying, because along with being so technical, sometimes I have a difficult time of keeping up with what people were saying.
I don't even know what I was saying.
So you're saying if we did a one-on-one session and I kick you out of the room, would you be able to get back into that session using the same credentials?
Well, I'm saying if you wanted to test that out, you can auto-generate a new link, send it to just me, and then test kicking me out, and me seeing if I can get back in.
Right, but we know we have to do that separate from this, because if I did that right now, it's going to kick you and me out of this Zoom. Robert would become host, I would imagine, and then we would be connected in a private thing, private Zoom. So we'll work on that one of these days. We'll get together privately and maybe get one other guinea pig. I mean, someone to join us that we can say, okay, we're going to test this and see what happens. No, I have no problem with that, but not today. I don't want to do it right now. This is my lazy day. Tony Wallow finally got the sand out of Sue's. John, if you're still with us in chat, if you would like to join the Zoom session, send me an email at kstout2016.com, and I'll be more than glad to include. Isn't that what I said? Email?
No, you said .com. You didn't say at Gmail.
Oh, at Gmail. Just listen to Alex. He knows what's going on. So take it away, somebody.
Crickets.
Yeah, exactly. Don't everybody jump at once. Hold on a minute. Stop. Oh, boy. How's your weather, Jeff?
Overcast. We had a few sprinkles. It's what counts for rain in Las Vegas most of the time.
True.
Strange. The first years I came in December 2000 originally. And I was living out of a budget suites place for a while. And we got quite a bit of rain that winter, at least for Vegas. And in recent years, it's been less and less. I think the average amount of rain is slowly shrinking, although I'd have to ask the weather people about that. But, anyway, it's overcast today, so we're finally going to get what passes for winter weather out here, I think.
I enjoyed the weather in Vegas. I really did.
Well, if you can stand the hottest 3 months of the year, the rest of the year is really fairly pleasant.
You're right. Yes. Yep.
And I actually like living here for a number of reasons. One is the weather. Two is the politics. We're kind of a purple state now.
Yeah.
A lot of the old timers here don't like that, particularly folks in the rural areas, because they basically have lost most of their clout.
Right.
Nevada, I won't say was all strictly conservative, but it was very libertarian, not liberal, but libertarian in nature, sort of live and let live. That's why we have legalized prostitution in the rural counties. It's not legal in Clark County or whatever the one Reno's in. I can't remember its name off the top of my head.
Washoe, I believe.
Washoe?
I think it's Washoe. I think.
Oh, yeah, that sounds right. But now we've had a big influx of people from California over the past 20 years. And on the average, those folks tend to be more liberal than the folks who were already here. So the reason I like it the way it is that you can elect somebody from either party, either major party. We haven't done much Republicans recently, but you still can. And so whoever gets elected has got to make an argument to convince the swing voters. And I'm registered as independent. And I guess I've done some strange things. Depending where I've lived, I've changed registration from one party to another. For example, when I was in South Carolina, except for one area, which has a Democratic representative, the Republican Party there basically controls everything. So the major election stuff was in the primary. So I would go vote in the primary for who I wanted amongst all the Republicans. And that was the guy that was going to be elected. And just, I try to vote where I think my vote's going to count, in other words.
True. Trying to set this up so I got a halfway functioning thing going this afternoon. So kind of testing out the afternoon stream just to see what gets generated. Not too bad. Not too bad at all.
What, trying to see how many folks you get, or
more or less
if it works better in the afternoon, or
both.
Yeah, streaming.
Both. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I
What
wanted to
day
do
or
this.
two-
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I say I've been waiting to see something more from Doug. He put out a bunch of them all of a sudden, and then he's been kind of quiet again the last couple of days.
Yeah, he sent me an email about when he was joining the Zoom, which we all know wasn't Doug, except Tim still hasn't figured out who it is, even though we've told Tim that was who it was. He still don't believe it. And Doug sent me an email and he said, hey, I want to assure you I was not in your Zoom last night. And I wrote him back and I said, yes, LOL, I know it wasn't you. I know who it was, and if you got time, I want to get with you on some other issues with Zoom. And he said, "Oh, I would love to," and that's all I've heard. Hopefully, he's okay. Matthew
Speaking
Camp.
of talking to Tim, why, I looked up his curriculum. He said he was studying cybersecurity at the University of Phoenix. Just out of curiosity, I looked that up. We still have a branch here, although it's much smaller than it used to be. Sounds interesting, actually. So, and it's not that expensive compared to going to, is what you would call major private or state universities.
Yeah, my college, one of the benefits of the college I went to is that they can say that they have the lowest tuition rate of any school in the state of Arkansas.
Because years ago, when I thought I might retire back to where I grew up, which I decided not to do, I thought about going back and getting a master's degree in civil engineering. The reason being, they have a hard time keeping somebody to supervise the county road crews out there because they can't pay for squat. And I thought, well, that wouldn't be a bad side job in retirement or whatever. And I know, or did know, most of the people around there. But then when I looked up how much it would cost, it was unlikely I was going to live long enough to get my money back. So, well, everybody's quiet today.
Yeah, see, that hasn't changed no matter the time. That seems to be prevalent.
Can't even get a rise out of Blackwatch here the other day.
I muted him, and I think he's mad at me because I muted him.
In one of the things, one of the streams the other day, he said something about me and the Las Vegas mob, and I sort of commented I didn't know any mobsters here, although I said I know some guys in Toronto, But my problem is I don't remember their names anymore. That was in 1967 I met these guys. So he doesn't have much to fear. Went to Expo 67 in Montreal
Yep, well, you and I have that in common.
way back when, and
Well, it was in '67, in case you've forgotten.
yeah, two roommates and I drove up there, and it was kind of an interesting trip. We went through Detroit, where you cross over into Canada, in the wee hours of the morning, and we took a wrong turn, and we got down in a pretty rough section of town. That was right after some of the riots happened there, and we were scared to stop any place and ask for directions. We kept driving. We finally found the road going over to Canada.
What's the Chevy Chase movie that he makes the wrong turn, he ends up in the wrong place of somewhere? Because that's what comes to my mind when you said that.
But then we got to Montreal, and we stayed in the gymnasium of a small private college there. They were renting out bunks, so to speak, for college students from wherever. And there were three of us, and we met two guys from Toronto who had come there with 5 girls. So it evened out, and there was somebody to sort of hang around with for each of us too. And went down to the Expo 67, had a good time, and then when it was all done, we gave these two guys a ride back from Montreal to Toronto. When we dropped them off, they gave each of us a flag. These guys' hobby was stealing flags. They would shinny up a flagpole wherever they saw something interesting, cut the flag off, shimmy back down, and run like hell. And they gave each of us a flag. I still have one someplace, but I can't remember their names. It's been over 50 years ago. So I actually did know, you might say, minor criminals in Toronto.
Yeah. Yeah, we went
Yeah,
through
that was a good-
Niagara Falls when we went, which was kind of, I think they were trying, my mom and dad were trying to have different, you know, cultural things, so to speak.
Mhm.
And we stayed at a woman's house called her name was Mrs. Anderson. It was pretty cool. I remember that. I don't remember much about the World's Fair itself, other than I can say I was there. But I do remember Mrs. Anderson, and I remember going to Niagara Falls. Now, in 10 years, when you ask me, I'm not going to remember any of that, but I'll be able to tell you exactly about that fair.
Well,
you guys
we
are
went to
tough
Niagara
today.
Falls, gosh, trying to think, sometime in the 90s. And we took a summer vacation, just my wife and daughter and I, and we drove up from Tennessee up through Ohio. There's an amusement park up there, lots of roller coasters, Kings something. I can't remember now.
In Ohio?
We went there.
In Ohio?
Yeah,
Kings Island?
maybe. Anyway, we went there. My daughter liked the roller coasters. Then we went to SeaWorld of Ohio, which is up there.
Was it out of Cincinnati, just outside Cincinnati?
I think so.
I bet back
I'd have
then
to
it was
look it
known
up.
as King's Mill.
So, anyway, so we did that, and then we drove up through New York, where my wife had a cousin or something. And at one point, we crossed over and we drove up to see Niagara Falls. My daughter, who's, I don't know, 10 years old at this time or whatever, you know, we did all this stuff, things that she would like. My wife and I wanted to go see Niagara Falls. And so we get there and we get out and we're walking around looking at stuff. You know, my daughter says, "You mean we came all this way just to see a stupid waterfall?" Typical kid stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I can relate to that.
Now you can't go across without a passport, I guess. Even without
I don't
restrictions
know.
we have now for COVID.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, you can maybe get across. A friend of mine almost got caught over there. He had some friends they went up with, and they had parked the car and they were going to walk across. This is like early 2000s or something. Well, maybe mid 2000s, after 9/11. And they were walking sort of out in no man's land across there. And one of the crossing guards, I don't remember which side it was on, warned him that if he didn't have his passport, he wasn't going to get back in the U.S. And so he stopped. And they, for Canada and Mexico, they've got these little wallet-sized cards that you can get. It's like a passport.
Right.
And I don't have one at this point in time. I had one years ago and I let it lapse. But now if you go to get one, you can either get the full size one or you can get the wallet thing, or both, I guess. Yes,
Yeah, I remember when I first moved to California, you just needed your license to get back and forth, and then they went to the passport thing. I do remember that.
Yeah. But, never been to Mexico.
I've been twice. First time I went was my boss out of Chicago. When we landed in San Diego, we stopped by the shop, and then 15 minutes later we were in Tijuana because that's what he liked to do, and you know, he was my boss, so I wasn't going to tell him no. And then the other time my son came out from Indiana, he wanted to go, so I took my son across the border and we did some shopping and came back. It never appealed to me at all. Just, I knew people that lived in Tijuana that worked in the States and made that 4-hour trip through the border every morning coming into the States and going back.
I've often wondered now, with the COVID restrictions and all that, that really has impacted that the folks who had to cross back and forth every day to go to work.
Has to have had. Yes.
What is it, El Paso in some place? There's a city right across from that. God, I hate getting old. I can't remember.
Juarez, I think it is.
Yeah, Juarez.
And then you have
that sort of thing.
In California's San Ysidro, which is south of San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't remember in the Arizona area what it is.
There's a part of Michigan, I believe, or either Michigan or Minnesota that is in Canada, and so every morning the kids have to take a bus through Canada really early in the morning to get to school.
There was one place where there's a town that's half in Canada and half in the U.S. I think that maybe was in Maine, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, that made the national news here a while back when they were talking about the town on one side or the other was dependent on the other side for its economy.
I think it was Washington.
It might have been. Yeah, might have been.
Niagara Falls. Slowly I turned, and step by step, inch by inch, I walked up to him and I smashed him. And I knocked him down.
Oh, thank you for that history lesson.
He's back.
That's what I was getting ready to say too. So Darren, are you muted?
Nope, he's not.
I think it's either 10 or 11 o'clock in his neck of the woods. Oh, there we go. Live Windows training. Doug Bates. Use Alt F4 when setting up Windows 11 to create a local user account. So when did that actually come through? Because that's on my older machine. That could be days old.
That just popped up in my notices.
Is he live right now? Dare we look?
I've been waiting on that because I told him, I sent him an email about it. I'm curious if he's gonna be able to get to work or not, because I think I've seen it used to work on older versions of Windows 11, but it may not work on the newest.
Apparently looks like it's a minute 56 long.
It's an upload.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to jump over to watch that. So, if it was a minute 57, I'd probably consider it. But minute 56, well, we're good. So, anyway. Oh, there he is. He's probably been doing a lot of things to upload, I would guess. We are the Three Stooges. That is correct. Blackwatch put in chat. Ken, Alex, and Jeff, the Three Stooges.
Well,
Well, I was kind of hoping someone was going to join us that wanted some guidance on OBS. I know you guys are scratching your head saying, why would anybody reach out to me for guidance on OBS?
you've been doing it for a while.
I can show the basics. I'm pretty confident about that. Now, just as sure as I just said that, when I do a stream on that, nothing will work. You know, never fails. So did anybody happen to catch the video I uploaded at 3 o'clock in the morning? It's about 1 minute, 8 seconds long. Besides Tony Wallow.
When was
Yeah, because me and Blackwatch was up talking then.
It's just, I've started working on something.
what the Da Vinci Resolve project there?
Yes.
No, I didn't look at it.
No, I actually figured something
Here,
out on
man.
my own last night. It was pretty scary. Tony Wallow, you're a stick in the California mud. Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Oh.
Very true. I actually figured out on my own how to put the thing on both trucks at the same time, and it actually worked to a point. Now I've got to go in and figure out how to make both things track with the truck as it moves down the road. And then
Okay. That thing you were going to show something on the back end of
Yeah.
the semis.
Yep. Right now it's on the back. My one of my thoughts was start it on the back, and as the truck goes down the road and you see them side by side, have it transition to the side of the truck. Probably am overreaching a little bit on that thought for me, but that's kind of where I want to go with it. And then I do have some ideas for a new introduction to the stream, and I'll get with each individual person on that. And basically, it's going to be: do I have your permission to use an image of you and or a video of you? And then one of the streams, I'll record it, and then I'll crop it down and use that in the thing. So
Depends on the royalties involved.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff, as I've been letting everyone know, I still got the 50 cents right here, so I'm holding on to it.
And
Yeah, Alex.
I just watched Doug's short little video about F4, and
Right.
it does work. It did work for him.
Oh, cool.
So
Well, I
if
would
you-
imagine it would work. I don't think Doug's going to
the reason
advertise
why I
something
said I
and it not
The
work.
reason why I told him I didn't know is because I tried it on a virtual machine, and on a virtual machine it didn't work for me.
Well, some of these work for some folks and not others. I just stumbled on to one that YouTube suggested about how to do stuff with Windows 11 home version. And it was something I hadn't heard discussed, and I sent a link over to Jim. And he emailed me right back and said, yes, I tried that and it didn't work for me. So
Here's a
not
crazy,
everything works for everybody.
sure. Here's a crazy thought I had. If you put a virtual machine on a machine that doesn't support Windows 11, can you put Windows 11 on the virtual machine on a machine that doesn't support Windows 11?
Yes, if you do I'm pretty sure you can if you do that registry hack I've been telling you about. but
Okay,
that's-
so take everything I just said and add without doing the registry hack. I stumped
No.
him. I stumped him.
Alex
No.
believes everything he sees on YouTube. Watch it.
well, I mean, I've tried it myself and it does work.
The reason I asked that is I have flirted with the idea of putting Windows 11 on a virtual machine, and just so I can see what all the discussion is about, so to speak. I honestly have no desire to have Windows 11, but I wouldn't mind playing around with it and seeing what is good, bad, and otherwise indifferent.
Uh-oh.
Really.
If
Well-
I ever get my build done so I got a more powerful system, I might try to get a virtual machine going. I've never done that, and it's always piqued my curiosity.
It's pretty easy to do.
And I've been tempted to try VirtualBox. That seemed to be the easiest one just from casual Googling of stuff.
Well,
In the old days when I looked at,
there's some stuff I've tried to do in VirtualBox. It just doesn't work, but it works in a VMware. But I personally, since I have Windows 10 Pro, I can use all three of them: Hyper-V, VMware, and VirtualBox.
So Jeff,
I've
how's your
got
wife
Windows
doing?
10 Pro, but my hardware won't support all of that. My system's too old.
How's your wife doing, Jeff?
Pretty good, getting healed up a little better.
Good. Good.
But it's, we don't heal as quick when we get older. She
Yeah.
fell and got herself hurt. Well, it's been between 3 and 4 weeks ago now, and she still got some spots that showed bruising. But she's feeling better.
Good.
Anybody using OWA here?
English, please.
OWA. Come
I don't
on,
even know what that means. I don't even know what that stands for.
you don't know OWA.
No, I guess not, since we don't know what it is.
It's Outlook Online. Desktop version is OWB. Oh boy. It's Outlook. It's email. Outlook email online.
Oh, I use Outlook email online.
Okay, well, how the hell do I get out of this stupid thing I got here? Somehow I clicky, you know, like Ken and his mother does when, and I've lost, oh, wait a minute, maybe it's back. No, it's sorting photos, you know, Jeff, photos and attachment. I just want the basic screen back, you know.
Not sure. I actually connect to it using Thunderbird.
Oh, you're a big fibber then.
Well, I mean, my account is with the Outlook Online. I have occasionally logged in with a browser.
I have problems keeping up with one thing. I don't need to use anything else that's going to screw that up because I will end up.
It can get sort of squirrely. My wife's account got messed up somehow, and they wouldn't believe she or me. I actually use her account for her since her hands don't work well. Wouldn't believe it was us, and we had to do something and then wait a month before I could get her account authorized again. And that was a couple years ago. I don't remember what happened exactly, but there was some security thing they didn't believe, and so
I think by accident I clicked some filter, you know, and it's gone into filtering attachments, and the back arrow doesn't work. I don't know what I did. You know, hit the mouse. I don't know.
There's a message to me in chat, and I don't get it.
Okay, share with us or make us go look. One or the other.
Oh, never mind. It's Blackwatch.
now, be nice.
Poor Blackwatch.
Don't try to get up, Alex. Your seat is wired.
Priceless. Oh, never mind. Jeez. That's funny. Funny. So Blackwatch, do you ever just reboot your system and does that fix the problem?
Wait a minute. It's online. If I sign out, it's going to go right to the same settings.
Well, yeah, that you could do that too, but I'm talking about just shut the entire system down and reboot it and see if that solves your issue.
You're talking about an online site setting.
Yeah, that wouldn't fix it.
It wouldn't fix it. In other words, when if he rebooted and went back into that online, it would still be what he was at.
You're looking at it through your browser.
Okay, gotcha.
Well, no, it probably wouldn't matter which browser either if you flip the settings someplace.
I could log in with an IBM Z14 and it's not going to change anything.
Yep. Yep.
The settings have been changed.
So it's screwing up your attachment somehow.
No, it's you normally go to the mail
Right.
and it's got inbox, junk, whatever
Right.
folder, all this.
Right.
It's gone into a filtering going to, by the look of it, to scan, search, that's the word. Photos, attachments, whatever. It's gone into the filter. It just, there's a box at the top, you click and it'll go Outlook, like OneDrive, Word,
Yeah.
Excel.
Yep. Yep.
It's stuck in there. It's stuck.
Hmm.
It's stuck. It's stuck, Jeff. It's stuck.
May
It's
I
stuck,
ask a
Jeff.
question?
It's stuck, Ken. It's stuck.
So it's stuck in
Is
the
it-
menu where you got all the different applications to switch to.
Yes, it's stuck.
Okay.
Just like Tim said, it's encrypted. It's encrypted. It's encrypted. It's encrypted.
You might want to take your right hand and so you get yourself out of that loop that you're on, loop that you're on, loop that you're on.
It won't work. It won't work. It's encrypted. It's encrypted. Pardon me, I got it right. It's encrypted. It's,
Can you spell that for us?
I'm loving my mouse.
I encrypted. There you go. It's spelled. Alex, what we put on my old i7 machine, was it VMware or the other one?
VirtualBox. For some reason, and this still baffles me, I wasn't able to install VMware on your i7 machine for some reason. But if you use the method that I made a video on last night to install WordPress, you don't even need that. You can just install it as a normal program, or I can do it for you, whichever.
I just wondered. Matthew Camp and I are having a chat conversation in the chat room, so I wanted to make sure that I knew which one it was. So
I can tell you that version that installs on Windows that I found has a default file size upload limit of like 40 megs, so you'll be able to upload bigger pictures if you install.
yeah, I haven't even played around on that yet. After we ended the Zoom last night, I played around a little bit in DaVinci Resolve because I don't want to not pursue an idea when I get it, because if I don't, I'll forget it, and then it kind of makes me mad. So I just got a message from her. Lin Ching Yu, I don't know if it's dual partition or not. I have no idea. It's an old i7 I bought off a guy in Las Vegas. Couldn't tell you. You know me, Mr. Technical.
Does that
Boy,
person
this room's tough today.
Does that person mean is that person asking if it's UEFI or
I don't know.
invasive?
Yeah, okay, wait. I'm so technical. Yes. You might ask him. I mean, you're watching the chat, are you not, in YouTube stream?
Yes.
That's where it's at. I don't know. Dual partition. What's that mean?
You got to be more specific than that.
Jeff's getting a call. Jeff's getting a call. Paul's broken a glass. Broken a glass. Paul's broken a glass. Yeah, you guys are tough today. So, note to self, no matter the hour, this Zoom crowd is tough. Robert, you still off today?
Yep.
Cool. So I'm playing around in the background. I'm messing around with some background things just to see what I can come up with.
How far off is Robert? Did he even come close?
To what? You had to refresh my memory here.
I don't know. You were telling the story.
That don't mean anything. I could start out telling a story of Hansel and Gretel and slip over to Snow White and not even realize I'm on a different story. And then before you know it, we're talking about Peter Pan. And you think I'm remembering these things? No, I'm not.
Alex?
Alex went away.
Alex,
Oh, I'm still here. I'm
Alex is
here.
still there.
Alex, have you ever wondered
Have I ever wondered what?
exactly? Have you?
Of course I have, but I need to know about what to give you an answer.
And you didn't get an answer. Are you now wondering why?
I honestly, I don't know. I think it may be time for Ken to mute you.
Actually, I'm going to mute myself and put the ever famous and popular picture up and go grab a water and a coffee. I will be right back. Go ahead, talk bad about me amongst yourselves.
I want a double. He's gone again. I'm not tipping that waiter. You know, I don't, even with the short skirt he wears, I'm not tipping. No.
Would
No.
you really come all the way from Canada to Illinois to get a double when you can just go 5 minutes down the road and get one probably?
5 minutes down the road, really?
I'm just assuming you probably got a Tim Hortons somewhere close by where you live.
No. I want a Charleston, Illinois ground coffee.
Who's got a double up there? That's an In-N-Out burger menu thing.
A double is a Tim Hortons thing in Canada, and it's 2 creams and 2 sugars in coffee.
Oh, I was thinking about a burger thing. There's a double at In-N-Out burger places in California, Nevada, and 1 or 2 other states.
No, it's not. It's 2 cream and 3 scoops of CBD.
You ruined your coffee.
Yeah, but I can't remember how I did it afterwards. Yeah.
Well, then how can you remember it now?
What happened to what?
I said, how can you remember it now? To tell us that it's 2 scoops of CBD and 2 creams or whatever.
Jeez, it comes back. Alex, put away the spray paint. Yoo-hoo, who's the clown, Robert?
No,
Oh, it's Ken.
yeah.
Ken number 2.
Ken number 2, I only see 1 Ken. Where's Ken number 2?
And then what's Robert talking about? Robert,
I don't know. I left. I just got back and I heard him say something about yeah. And I don't know what you guys are talking about. I muted it and put the camera off so I could go get me some coffee.
No, it's you. It's you.
Talking about, we was talking about 2 creams and 3 sugars, or 2 creams and 3 CBDs or something in a coffee.
Oh, okay.
Alex, have you ever wondered?
Again, I don't know what you're asking because you need to be more specific.
No, I'm more to the Atlantic. But anyway, have you ever wondered? Alex, I wrote the book.
Tony says, watch what happened live. Boy, I had to, well, I'm going to stop the YouTube stream and go back and watch it and see what happened. No, I'm not. I'm kidding. So I do want to check something out, though. I'm going to put the globe on for a minute, which when the globe comes up on the YouTube stream, I was given credit for creating that, and I did the right thing. I told the person that gave me credit for doing that I did not do it.
Does he know what CBD is?
Do I know me?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
What does Google have to say
I
about
know
it?
my mom has given it to me before to calm me down. Don't ask why, but I know it tastes horrible.
What you put, is it gummies or what?
It's gummies. Yes, it is.
Shall I tell the story about the ER? Amusing. Ken, it's your go.
Just remember we're on the streaming. I don't really. I mean, if you want to talk about it, talk about it.
That's not that funny. I'm not going to, not the language, just, Never
No, it
mind.
doesn't necessarily have to be the language, but we all know in today's society, you might say one word that everyone accepts and piss someone off, and
There it went.
there,
No, it
exactly,
just,
there it went.
there, is that what she said?
Go back over to here.
Where's Gary?
I don't
That
know.
was 10.
I'm honestly wondering because it's 6:22 in his neck of the woods.
I think he had to have a CBD treatment.
Yeah. Speaking of comments and stuff, after Doug put out the video where he had the thing about quote, internet interrupt us, I had to resist temptation to put a comment under that.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
Oh, come on, Chuck. Go ahead, live a little.
Well,
Your comment gonna be that wouldn't work or something?
well, it wasn't going to be explicit, but the meaning would have been clear.
Oh, soon on a new.
Well,
And I like Doug. I wouldn't want to upset him. He seems to be pretty family-oriented guy, G-rated stuff,
yeah.
whatever.
I was getting ready to say you might have to explain it to him, and there's nothing harmful about that. It's just Doug's nature.
I have compiled a handbook for him. Can you deliver it? I can't get it through the Border Patrol.
Yeah, if you have it in a PDF form, you can send it to him and he can print it off and mail it to Doug.
PDF, is that like pretty darn funny?
Oh, is that
Not
what that
really.
stands for?
Yeah.
Not really. It stands for Portable Document Format.
How do you spell that?
PORTABLE
Let's keep going. Go on. Doug is a whole son. I thought he said a naughty.
Yeah, Lin Chin Yu says Doug is wholesome. That's a good word.
Yep.
And sometimes I just wonder if he does let on that he doesn't know some of the things he does know, and it's just his way of dealing with it.
You know something? Your chat is a whole lot funnier when you read it with dyslexia.
I bet it would be.
It is.
I bet it would be.
Where is Lynn from anyway?
The woods.
The woods.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how Doug comes up with his thumbnails for his videos?
I'll play your silly game. How?
I was wondering that.
I'm asking because I don't know.
What was the question?
How does Doug come up with his thumbnails for his videos?
Who's Doug?
The Doug we've been talking about?
Doug we've been talking about. I don't know a Doug we've been talking about. Does anybody know a Doug we've been talking about?
I think he's related to the Doug we used to know.
The Doug we used to know. Yeah, no, that's
I'm not going to bet on it, but I'll bet he's related to that other Doug that we all know too.
Now we got two of Dougs we all know. Does that fit on a driver's license down there?
I don't know how Doug that we all know does it, Alex, but I just go to the internet, find an image I like, download it, and hopefully it fits, and I don't have to recrop it or resize it or anything.
And you hope that you don't get a copyright for that.
Could care less. Honestly, good care. If I get a copyright, I get a copyright. As long as I don't get the copyright strike,
or
They're
something.
going to slap my hand. And I don't want that to sound arrogant or anything. It's going to happen.
You just don't want to get a copyright that will stop you from being able to upload videos.
That would be the copyright strike, yes, and that's what I don't want.
Without having to create a whole new channel.
Right.
Alex, it's just a picture or whatever, and you put your own words on it. That pretty well dismisses copyright. You know, the ones Doug does. You know,
Doesn't he? Maybe I've missed some of his thumbnails, but aren't they generally all of things that he owns the copyright to, and he just adds things to them?
Well, we got a troll.
We do? Chris Garrett?
Yeah.
No, Chris is cool. Good to see. Chris is working on a laptop he got. He was going to do a live stream on it, but I guess one of the ports was bad. So it's good to see Chris, by the way. Haven't seen him in a while.
He just puts himself on, from what I can tell, he just puts himself on there and adds pictures of stuff that whatever corresponds to whatever he's working on. And maybe the Windows, like he's been using like a Windows 11 wallpaper or something.
Chris has a question for you, Alex, in chat.
Thanks, Jeff.
Jeff went to get the drinks. What did he do? Does anybody remember Lee Chambers from Doug?
Yes.
Where did he go?
No clue.
He had one encounter with Blackwatch and he gave up the ghost. I'm serious. He, Doug did something about security, email security, and I think, Lee's father opened something and got a virus.
So, Alex, are you talking about what's showing on the YouTube screen right now?
Yes.
Yeah, he's just using his picture, and then he goes in there and puts the tinkering in chat and opens Zoom and the Windows 10 and 11 on there.
You can do that in anything that will
Sure. I mean, it's
modify graphics. I mean, you can do it in Paint if you were patient.
Or you could probably use Photoshop, or you could. I bet he's doing it in XSplit, maybe. I'm not sure on that. I'm really going out on a limb on that one. And I'm probably violating YouTube's policy right now by showing this, but I guess as long as I don't click on the link and show the video, I'm good. And honestly, I don't understand that 100%. I've heard it mentioned a couple times. Yeah, Alex is in chat, Chris. Oh, here we go. Egg rolls require 400 degrees Fahrenheit at 19 minutes. Problem solved. Mm-hmm. There you go. The answer to everything.
Can you get the chicken coop up that high?
Oh, shoot. I was supposed to feed the chickens today. Darn it.
Good.
I hope they got the memo that I'm not doing anything today. So Len Chin Yu says he's using Windows 11 and he's not yet sure if he likes it or not. He's going to do a Windows 11 Pro on a new build. Again, unless I'm forced to, I'll get Windows 11 about November 1st of 2025.
That's my plan unless something happens before then to make me think Microsoft is going to start to charge for it.
Right, and that's kind of the same.
I don't think they will. I think they may have something like with Windows 10 where nominally you have to pay for it, but it's kind of a wink and a nod if you get it some other way.
So Chris just asked in there, he said the laptop is fine, except for one USB port does not seem to work. Is it possible a USB port can require external power for the device?
No.
And the answer so far is no.
It
May not have enough
it
power
depends on
for-
the device you're using. But some devices require external power.
Well, but it wouldn't make the port not work at all, though. I mean, it could not have it could be that it doesn't have enough power for say 3.5-inch hard drive.
Chris, are
And
you
Chris said he did not think so, and I would say, Chris, you're talking about a USB port on the laptop itself, correct?
Yeah, that's what he's talking
That's
about.
what I would think. I mean, you know me.
Yeah,
Now,
maybe.
is this a used laptop he got someplace? I don't remember the whole
I
story.
think it's
here.
refurbished, yeah. It
Refurbished,
says, ask Alex about these business laptops. I believe it's refurbished. I'm not 100% sure. I
That's
could
not-
go check my email, but not a big deal.
Yeah.
That's not what he was going to put in before he realized Alex was here. Come on, Chris, go ahead, put it in.
So you guys do know I will be streaming 2 times today because I'll do the normal 10:30 thing. I just can't let this early day thing take precedence over the 10:30 thing. I'm going to surprise you all one of these days. I'm going to put a live at such and such time, and if you're going to have to really read. No, I'm not going to tell you guys, but anyway, I'm going to do that. And we'll see how many people pay attention to things.
Robert and I spent an hour going, this little piggy went to town to find out whether Ken would crash the party.
Yeah,
Just kidding.
I know you are. Speaking Windows 11 virtual machines, for some reason on my Windows 11 virtual disk usage is at 100% usage and it's slowing everything down on it to where I can't do anything. Chris Garrett put a link in there. Somebody go check it out. Alex, www.walmart.com, search whatever, or send it back to me. Yes, it is used and in good condition. It does have a 90-day warranty. I just do not want to send it back.
If the port's not working, adding a powered hub isn't going to help him because the port's still not going to work. That's my opinion.
Yep, and he can hear the Zoom chat, so
And that's
I don't-
worth what you paid for it.
Well, if he just tries it with a normal USB flash drive, it doesn't require external power and it doesn't work, then it's a bad port. But if it does work with just a normal USB flash drive, then the port works.
I know you
Yeah.
guys are trying your darndest to make me technical, but could it be that one USB port needs a driver?
No,
Oh.
the drivers.
No, Colin, no.
No,
The
Well,
drivers
the-
run all USB ports?
you can have more than one set of USB ports in the system,
Go to
and you
device.
may need a driver for each separate set. You know, one might be 2 and one might be 3.
Go to the Go to device manager USB, and you'll see the USB hub drop down.
And Chris is saying I can buy a miniature USB hub, and Chris is saying he thinks it's the port. I think it's probably the port, Chris. I think that's the consensus of everybody here. But if you're happy with it and you don't need that port, you're good.
That Walmart link came up with a picture of a woman says you cannot buy potting soil here. Bringing in the Christmas.
Was she about 3.5 feet tall?
Yeah, and she's riding around in one of those motorized scooter things with streamers on the handlebars and a basket and one of those sticks with the windmill going around.
You give me such a great idea. The next time I go in there and have to use one of those, I'm going to take me some pinwheels and streamers, and when I'm putting them on there, they're going to ask, and I'm just going to tell them I'm tricking my ride out.
Don't forget the beanie with the propeller.
Yeah, exactly. We ain't right. We are not right.
So what did people tune in to hear for? Tech?
Huh?
What did people come on here for? Tech? I mean.
Oh gosh, no. I mean, I don't think I've ever advertised. Well, maybe back in the day, but no. I think people come on here for getting together and talking about whatever topic comes up, and going from there. Reflow the solder if you have APA and then you retracted it. Oh, I got that one read before you retracted it. So that's an interesting question. Do we want to publicly and tell everybody why we come to my channel? Guess not. Next.
Well, I know why I come to your channel. Mainly just to be able to, as much as you hate to hear it, talk about tech, but more importantly, have somebody else to talk to other than my parents.
That's all right too.
I come to listen to Blackwatch.
So, Chris, I'm looking at your link you put in here, and Blackwatch is right. That stupid lady is now following me on Walmart.com. Doggone it. I must have really made an impression on her.
Yeah, her and Ken are going up the aisles with the arrows, and he's going up the
Be
wrong way.
my first American wife.
Yeah.
Gosh, I really hope that my wife is not watching this at work, because she's going to be, what American wife?
And Ken must be
Chris, does that look familiar?
And Ken must have loved Pierre Elliott Trudeau, because he's going fuddle duddle, fuddle duddle, fuddle duddle, all the way up.
So, not to sound as dumb as I am technical, but if you were to get this and plug it into a broken USB port, I'm not thinking this is going to fix the problem myself.
Nope, won't.
I didn't think it would. Oh, gotta hold on. Okay, we're holding on, Chris.
What if he takes it
Come
back?
on, we're holding on.
Okay. Are you feeling anything, Jeff? Let go my ego.
Yeah. I was gonna say, shut off your camera depending on what you're holding on to.
Oh.
He won't go there.
Nope.
Blackwatch, you feeling all right?
What do you think?
Well, you declined an open opportunity to go somewhere, so I just was wondering. Okay, I'm going to shut this off. Actually, I'm not going to shut that off. I'm going to minimize that. That'll solve that problem.
This isn't going away.
Oh, okay, Chris said. So, Chris, how many ports do you have on the laptop itself? Oh, we'll use one of the others. Okay, that answers that question. Never mind.
Is this going a little overboard? Because I have on my computer itself, I have six USB ports on the computer itself. But then I have, even with everything else, even with everything else I have plugged in right now that's currently connected, I still have three open USB ports on the computer itself, plus three USB ports on one USB hub, and two USB ports open on another USB hub.
Had a desktop, I assume.
Yes. So I have
even my old desktop, which is an old HP thing, I've got 10 USB ports altogether.
Oh, gone.
Well, see, I have two USB ports or three USB ports on the computer itself in use, and I have a 7-port. I have an old 7-port USB 2.0 hub, and then a USB-C hub, and a USB-C hub that has 3 USB ports on it, plus a couple of card readers and an HDMI port, plus all of the ports on the actual computer itself.
And now my laptop, which was not the cheapest one, but kind of an intermediate one, it's just got 2 USB ports on it, and both of them are the A ports, not a C port.
Yeah, you can never have enough USB ports, and it's easier to get USB ports. It's easier to get more USB ports than it is to get more regular wall outlet plugs.
Robert looks like
I-
he's got a nice setup. Well,
Yeah, that's what I use.
So as much as I can, I like to get stuff that's powered off of USB, like USB powered lights and everything else, because So I only have to have, because I only have like two available wall plugs that are handy where I can reach them. Because these 50-year-old houses weren't designed for, all this electronic stuff being plugged in.
That's
Do you
true.
know what size your main service is? Is it like 100 or 200 amp service?
I have no idea.
House that old, it might just be 100 amp service, although it's not guaranteed.
I had an electrician come out and install 2 more breakers for my room. I did.
Yeah, the house I grew up in, we had a mishmash of stuff in there. When it was built, it had just light bulbs added shortly after that, and they used lead acid batteries that were in glass containers. You had to service them regularly, and all they did was power lights. And there were wires running on the rafters in the attic on white insulators. And that circuit was still in use when we lived there. When you went in the attic, you had to be careful not to touch both wires at once. And it was kind of a crazy situation. But we had that on one circuit, and we had several 2-wire circuits from when the house was originally wired. And then I added 2 3-wire grounded circuits for something my dad wanted. But, get in old houses, you can run into all kinds of crazy stuff.
I'm just looking at the link Chris sent. He posted another link to show the one he's thinking about getting. And I was checking to see how long we've been live for, which is 1 hour and 20 minutes. Not too bad. Come back to this. Hate hoax verdict incoming. Not sure what that means.
There was a verdict today in that case in Chicago.
Was it in Chicago? Oh, for Jesse Mullet or Smollett
Yeah.
or whatever his name is. There's a verdict out.
I think he was found guilty. I got a news flash from one of the apps on my phone here from a Las Vegas station.
Yeah, the only one I seen was the Duggar guy was found guilty of child pornography.
Yep. He won't be sentenced for 4 months. I guess, well, they have to do pre-sentence investigations and all that kind of stuff whenever somebody's convicted.
So to open up this can of worms, why? Why do they have to take another 4 months to sentence him? The law's pretty clear on what he could be punished for.
Yeah, but you have to do. Unfortunately, I have enough experience with people in the legal system to tell you that they have to do pre-sentence investigations that are done by the probation and parole board, where, well, at least here in Las Vegas. And the length of time it takes probably depends on the caseload at the agency that's going to do the pre-sentence investigation. It probably has nothing to do with a particular case. That's just a guess, but as I say, I have, unfortunately, some experience in this area with a family member.
I've just wondered, I mean, it's been that way for the longest time now that you get sentenced on December 8th or December 9th, or you get found guilty on December 9th, and then you go back and sit in jail for 4 months, and then you come back, and then they're going to sentence you to your sentence. And
whatever you get credit for time served.
Well, sure, but I don't know the legal system.
Well, they have to do the investigation. They have to get a recommendation from whoever does their probation and parole stuff wherever he lives.
Chris said in the chat room, "Okay, everybody can bird me. I paid a little over $600. Maybe they will work with me."
Well, depends on what kind of system it is. I mean, if it was originally like a $1,500 system and he got it for $600, that could still be a decent deal.
Yeah. And depending on how bad you need it, he's got a 90-day warranty. He could maybe return it and get another one, or get his money back and go to a different route. I mean, again,
Yeah,
it's
that's
just
like-
personal choice.
Yeah.
He hasn't said what happens if he sends it back. He only said he doesn't want to.
Yeah, he did say he didn't want to.
Yeah, his old system was having problems of some sort, right? And
Yeah,
he just wanted a new
that
one.
it was.
Chris, did the guy that delivered it, the scruffy looking guy with the cigar, and he gets it out of the trunk of his car?
And what you said, Jeff, that's been that way for quite a long time. That they're found guilty on one day, and then they come back a while later for sentencing, and that
Right.
kind of sheds some light on why they do that. I've always wondered.
I mean, I'm
why.
just making a guess at that, but that's what happens here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've always found it fascinating that when you go out and commit a crime, you're usually charged with 4 or 5 things at a minimum,
Yeah.
because the
I got in a
prosecutor wants to
pissing
get you on something.
Well, it just depends. I got in a pissing contest with a police officer over that once upon a time. Or somebody I knew was arrested and got charged with multiple things. And I was questioning why they do that, and I became a little bit more educated on it. But for example, if you go in a bank and try to pass a bad check at the bank, in addition to whatever law you break by trying to pass the check, you will get charged with burglary in addition.
I've heard that.
Because whenever you commit a monetary crime in Nevada inside a building, you automatically get added on the burglary charge.
So I would argue,
And that's just from the legal definition of what it is.
sure, but I would.
And if you, yeah, go ahead.
I would argue that if you write me a check and I go to my bank to cash it and it's a bad check, have I committed a crime?
No,
But if I go to my bank and I try to pass a bad check on my own account, I'm committing a crime. Right?
well, and if you steal a check from somebody and fill it out yourself and try to go cash it, that's a crime.
So why wouldn't my defense was, no, Jeff gave me this check. I did yard work for him.
No. I actually, years ago, we had our house burglarized, and they got in my safe, just a fire safe, which a locksmith told me he could open in about 30 seconds. But it was heavy, and they were trying to get it away someplace, and they were flopping this big safe over and over down the front sidewalk, and the door just popped open. Got credit cards, checks on my bank account here, some on an account I had with my mother in Kansas, who was still, well, she wasn't living at that point. I had shared an account with her, so I could handle her bills and stuff.
Right.
On and on, and then got all of that settled. I got all of that stuff canceled that same afternoon that I knew something was going on. But then later, somebody took one of the checks from my mother's account that I shared with her and paid their Nevada power bill with it. I may have mentioned this before. And when I learned about that, I called the police back, and they said, no, that you have no standing to do anything about it because the bank made you whole on that. I had canceled the account, and the bank cashed it anyway, or I had blocked the account, I should say. It wasn't closed yet at that point, and the bank cashed it anyway, and I called them and reminded them, and they gave me my money back. It was like $60 or something. But the police here said only the bank has standing to file a charge on that against the person.
Is that because they gave your money back, or is that just
That's
the way
what the police officer told me,
Robert?
because the bank made me whole. And the real story is that they just, for small crimes like that, all the police here want to do is take a report and let you file an insurance claim.
Right.
And it really is as simple as that.
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
But what's even funnier than I eventually closed that account, since I didn't go back out to Kansas much after that and had no need to have an account out there anymore where I used to bank when I was growing up. And 4 years later, somebody tried passing checks on that account someplace in Arizona, which is weird. I wouldn't have think somebody would have held on to the checks that long, but they did. And the bank calls me back 4 years later. And of course, the account was closed, but every time one of them came in, I had to fill out a form saying it was fraudulent and send it back to the bank. It was a nuisance sort of thing.
So the bank contacted you 4 years after someone tried to cash a check that the account was closed?
No,
4
they
years?
tried to cash it 4 years later in Arizona.
Right.
So it was a fresh, okay. And the account had been closed for 3.5 years or something like that.
But you had to verify to the bank that it was a closed account?
No, that the attempt was fraudulent. They needed a piece of paper basically stating that I didn't try to write the check myself.
Right, okay.
So, and then there was another thing. One time, my wedding ring got stolen. Summertime, your fingers swell up a little bit, things get tight. And I had my wedding ring laying someplace, and somebody got in the house and stole my wedding ring. They tried to pawn it, and because I had filed a report, all the pawn shops have to report what they take in.
Right.
Here. And if you claim it within so many days, the pawn shop simply eats it. And you get your stuff back, which is what happened in this case. And I talked to the investigating detective, quotes, after I got it back. And he said they knew who did it, but they weren't going to follow up on it. He said this guy was from a known family of thieves out here. And I never understood why they didn't follow up on that one.
Probably not worth their time, not worth the court's time, not worth anyone's time.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's just, they know, I mean, he'll get to a point where he'll commit a crime that it's going to be worth their time, and hopefully no one gets hurt or killed in the process.
Right, well, that's basically what it is. Yeah. I mean, in a big place like this, there's so much crime going on that I sort of understand they have to pick their battles, so to speak.
Sure.
On this episode of Stout Live, what stays in Vegas, don't stay in Vegas. No.
Oh, speaking of that, I saw a cute bumper sticker the other day on the back of somebody's car. It said, "What happens at Grandma's stays at Grandma's."
Yeah, really.
Or honk.
Anybody who has grandkids can appreciate that one.
Yep. Honk if you like my baby blue eyes. Or just plain honk.
So everyone knows the theme from the Roadrunner, correct?
Beep.
Yep.
So I've got it on a USB drive on some of my downloaded music, and we're driving down the road and it comes on, and I have got it timed out when he goes meep meep, I hit the horn and it goes beep beep. You shouldn't do that in the city when there are other cars around because it tends to piss people off. But what?
Well,
I'm just playing to the song.
Yeah. The other thing was somebody I knew was driving down the street and they were sitting at a stoplight or something. Car ahead of them had a bumper sticker on it, "Honk if you love Jesus." And they honked at him, and it was a used car that they hadn't put the sticker on. Somebody got out and ranted and raved at him. Unfortunately, we have too many instances of road rage out here.
Oh, I bet. Oh, yeah. Nope. Yeah. When we first
in a
moved to
big place, somebody honks at me or yells at me or whatever, I just ignore it and go on.
Just wave or don't even wave. Just go on. Yeah. And you hit the nail right on the head. When I first moved from California, I didn't change the tags over. People yelled at me constantly to go back to California. Constantly.
I've never seen that happen. I know people who are upset about it, not because they came from California, but I have a friend that would just get very irritated because you're supposed to change your tags like within, I don't know, 60 days of moving here.
Something like
Something
that.
like that. And there would be people keep their tags on for 6 months or a year. Some people would renew their tags in another state, and that avoids the smog check here,
True.
apparently. Or you go out to some rural county and do your smog check. They kind of crack down on that. But it's just
It's just like your driver's
Everybody-
license. You're supposed to
Yeah,
get
I
it
think-
changed after a certain period of time.
Yep.
Somebody's getting phone or messages, one or the other.
I'm just getting a beep on a message here.
Yeah, if you're in Southern California, you're in Southern California, aren't you, Jeff?
What now?
So Sam, it's good to see you. Being busy is always a good thing. Lin Chen Yu, good to see you. Go enjoy your General Tso chicken and rice and barbecue, and your egg rolls that you made. Tony Wallow, good to see you again. Hopefully we'll see you again tonight at 10:30. Jeff, you're
Yep.
in the chat room, but I'm not going to say anything over there. You're here.
But this could be fun.
We are going to be live again tonight. Be sure to check the title out. I think you'll find it to be educational and entertaining. So I will end the stream, and I will leave
Alright.
the Zoom going as per the normal.
All right.
Bye for now.
Everybody take care.
I'm leaving Zoom running. I'm just